In this section, I will show you how to select and prepare fresh garlic and peppers for drying. Drying is a great way to preserve these ingredients and use them later in your cooking. First, let's talk about garlic. There are two main types of garlic, soft neck and hard neck. Soft neck garlic has many layers of cloves and a mild flavor. Hard neck garlic has fewer cloves and a stronger flavor. You can use either type for drying, but hard neck garlic may last longer. To dry garlic, you need to peel the cloves and remove the papery skins. You can use a knife or a blender to chop the cloves into small pieces or slices. The smaller the pieces, the faster they will dry. Next, you need to spread the garlic pieces on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Make sure they are not touching each other. Then, you need to bake them in the oven at the lowest temperature setting, usually between 150 degrees Fahrenheit and 175 degrees Fahrenheit. It will take about 30 minutes for the garlic to dry completely. You can check by breaking a piece in your hands. It should crumble easily. Now, let's move on to peppers. You can use any kind of peppers for drying, from sweet bell peppers to spicy chili peppers. Just make sure they are fresh and have no soft spots or blemishes. To dry peppers, you need to wash them and dry them off. Then, you need to cut them into uniform pieces so they dry evenly. You can remove the seeds or leave them in, depending on your preference. If you are using hot peppers, wear gloves to protect your hands from the capsaicin. Next, you need to spread the pepper pieces on a baking sheet lined with parchment paper. Again, make sure they are not touching each other. Then, you need to bake them in the oven at the same temperature as the garlic, between 150 degrees Fahrenheit and 175 degrees Fahrenheit. It will take about 8 to 10 hours for the peppers to dry completely. You can check by bending a piece in your hands. It should snap easily. Once the garlic and peppers are dry, you can store them in an airtight container or a Ziploc bag. You can also grind them into powder using a blender or a spice grinder. You can use your homemade garlic and pepper flakes to season your dishes, sauces, dressings, or dips. And that's how you select and prepare fresh garlic and peppers for drying. I hope you enjoyed this section and learned something new. Stay tuned for the next section where I will show you how to harvest and preserve your own garlic and pepper flakes. Now that you have harvested and dried your own garlic and pepper flakes, you might be wondering how to store and use them. Here are some tips and ideas for you. Store your garlic and pepper flakes in airtight containers like glass jars, and keep them in a cool, dry, and dark place, such as a cupboard or a pantry. This will prevent them from losing their flavor and aroma, and from getting moldy or infested by pests. Use your garlic and pepper flakes to add flavor and spice to your dishes. You can use them whole, crushed, or minced, depending on your preference and the recipe. You can also rehydrate them by soaking them in water or oil for a few minutes before using them. Make your own pickled garlic with your fresh garlic cloves, fresh dill, and red pepper flakes. This is a simple and delicious way to preserve your garlic and enjoy it as a snack or a condiment. All you need to do is layer the garlic cloves, fresh dill, and red pepper flakes into a wide-mouthed pint-sized jar, and then pour a hot pickling liquid made of vinegar, water, sugar, and salt over them. Leave some room at the top of the jar, let it cool to room temperature, cover tightly, and then store in the fridge. You can enjoy your pickled garlic after a few days or weeks. Make your own garlic oil with your dried garlic flakes. This is a versatile and flavorful oil that you can use for cooking, salad dressing, dipping bread, or drizzling over pizza. All you need to do is heat some olive oil in a small saucepan over low heat, add some garlic flakes, about 1 teaspoon per cup of oil, and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. Be careful not to burn the garlic, or it will turn bitter. Strain the oil and let it cool completely before transferring it to a glass bottle with a tight lid. Store it in the fridge for up to a month. Make your own garlic salt with your dried garlic flakes. This is a handy seasoning that you can use for almost anything. All you need to do is grind some garlic flakes, about 1 tablespoon per cup of salt, with some coarse salt in a spice grinder or a mortar and pestle until well combined. You can also add some herbs like parsley or rosemary for extra flavor. Store it in an airtight jar in a cool, dry place for up to 6 months. These are just some of the ways you can store and use your homemade garlic and pepper flakes. Feel free to experiment with different recipes and combinations, and enjoy the fruits of your labor.